Hey guys, it is Sophia, the Shadow Hunter, and today I'm doing my March wrap-up. March was a pretty good reading month for me. My reading got kind of sluggish and I got into a bit of a reading slump at the end of it, but I still read a good amount of books, so let me know in the comments down below what you guys, have been reading and what you guys plan to read, so let's get started. So the first book I finished in March was The History of the Obsession by Klaus P. Fischer. I really enjoyed this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was hard to get through. It was hard to continue reading this. It was hard to stomach, but I enjoyed it because I learned a lot of things. It was very interesting to see more and more how much time and process and how they processed what they did and how they came about it. It was ridiculous, and at the same time it's amazing to see the amount of work they put into doing this, you know how evil it was. And I really recommend this book for you history lovers out there. This was a great, important book to read. And when the next episode was Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I really enjoyed this book. I wasn't thinking I was going to like it as much as it did, but it was about family and relationships, a wedding weekend and holidays, and about a family who seemed like they had it all together and they didn't. And it was really, I could relate, I think, to the story a lot. And that's when I read books, I don't feel like the content in the books that I read I'm able to relate to, but in this I was, because she just wanted to get the family together for one last weekend before her sister got married, and her brother went off to college, and she's about to go off to college. So this is their last time to bond against family, have make good memories. And instead they end up saving the wedding, which they did, and they did everything they could to save the wedding. This was a great book. I highly recommend it. And one of the last books I read was A Very Large Expanse of the Sea by Tahereh Mafi. I really enjoyed this book. I was excited about it when I first heard about it, but I did not want to get myself hyped up about it because then we just end up being disappointed. And I was surprised. I really enjoyed this book. I thought I was going to like it a little bit more, but I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed this. This was about a girl named Sharon, and she goes to school, and she just goes to school, comes home, she keeps her earbuds in all the time so people don't talk to her, and when she listens to people, she's not really listening to them, but I think they're listening to her. And since 9/11, she has been attacked for being Muslim, and her brother end up starting a breakdancing club at school, and she meets this boy named Ocean James, and she does what she promises not to do herself, which is to open herself up and to get to know people, because she's just been kind of, you know, closed off to people, and she hasn't let herself be hurt. She's just been closed off, and her family has moved a lot, so she hasn't been able to meet friends, and it's like the third time they've moved in, like during high school, so she hasn't set one place really long for high school, and she's just trying to get through high school, and it ends up being a surprise, and she doesn't know if she should believe that these people are they really being nice, are they really being kind, or is this some sort of prank? And she finds out that, you know, this one person isn't faking it, that he really cares about her and wants to know her. And she realizes that being stuck in the past and not moving on doesn't allow you to see everything that's around you. That's what's called A Very Large Expanse of the Sea. And so I think the name is an incredible idea. Thumbs up to Tahereh. You did a great job on this book. Next, they had The Forgotten Holocaust by Scott Moore Anning. I was really wanting to, I thought I was going to like this book, and I enjoyed it. It was fast-paced. It was the thriller, but I could not follow along, and it was hard to keep reading this because it was really entertaining at first, and it got kind of sluggish, and I just had a hard time following it. So if you guys have read this book, I'd love to know your thoughts down below. And then I think this was actually the second and third book I read, was The Extensional Symphony by Martin Goldsmith, A True Story of Music and Love in Nazi Germany. I love this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. You guys should read this. This is about two people and the distinguished sympathy of Nazi Germany. This is his son who wrote this book, and it's about how his parents met and survived the war as being musicians, and how it helped keep them alive, and how it affected them, and how growing up his father never talked about it until they went to the Holocaust Museum in DC. So this is an incredible book, and I encourage you guys to read it. Lastly, I read D-Day by Stephen E. Ambrose in 1944. I really enjoyed this book. It was very interesting and it had lots of facts. It talked about all the different strategic things, about Churchill, about fighting, about the training, and it was very interesting. You guys should read it. Stephen Ambrose is a great author. I guess this is the third book I read by him, so I need to see if I can read any other books by him. So I hope you guys like this video. Please leave your comments down below all the books you read in March and all the books you want to plan to read in April. And I'll see you guys next time in another video. Goodbye.